Hey guys, so welcome to Topic Tuesday, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done this in quite a long time, so I think it's time to bring this back. So moving on from all of that, today's a typical Tuesday really, and I would like to talk about awkward or like not so cool situations at school, or like anywhere really, because some of these situations can easily occur in many different locations and places. It doesn't always have to be school. Now, this situation happens to me like every single day, which is known as ASS. And if you're gonna, like, in the comments below, just keep on ranting, like, because in a few minutes you'll find out what the acronym means. And no, it's got nothing to do with the acronym itself, the actual letters, because the acronym ASS stands for awkward staring situation. And then you can rant all you want. It's the only thing I could think of. Sorry, sue me. And situation number one of awkward staring situations, and there are only two, because you can either have an awkward staring moment with a student or a pupil or a classmate really, which are all kind of the same thing, or with a teacher. So with a pupil or a student or a classmate or your friend even, so basically this usually happens in class, and like let's say there are 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4 person, 5 person, 6 person. So it kind of goes like that, and let's say you're sitting here and your head is facing that way, and there's a person in front of you and their head is the same direction as yours, except they turn around and stare the other direction, and their eyes kind of quickly like shoot to that part of the ceiling. They're just like, oh, I've never seen a white ceiling before. It's like, it's so blank, it's just so, I've never seen it before. It's just so fascinating. I need to turn around and not do my work and not do anything because I just love ceilings. I don't know why you do this. I understand the class can be boring, and sometimes there comes a time when you just want to make literally up any excuse you want just to find some time to waste and get the class over with. When really there's no point, because you're going to have to go to this class like every day, especially if it's English or math. And there's no point, although you're not the only one who's done that. But I've got to admit, I don't really, I mean, I get bored in some of those classes, but I never actually, like, I'm not one of those people who just, like, mess around or anything. I'm kind of calmer, so I don't mess around or anything. I mean, there are times when the teacher tells you off for, like, talking too much. Well, sorry, miss, for having too much energy, which you requested for me to have last week. Now you want me to get rid of it? And this, so basically, they're moving back to the ASS acronym, awkward staring situation. So basically their eyes are like at the ceiling, and then in a few seconds, or even minutes, or even hours, no, minutes, seconds, their eyes like quickly shoot down, and then they turn back around, or they don't turn back around to where they were at the beginning of this situation, and they say to you, what are you staring at, when they were the person who started the whole thing. It's annoying, it's rude, and if this is your way of telling a girl that you like her, well, it's a bad move, because they're just gonna think of you as an annoying brat who they wish died. So don't do that. It's annoying, and if a boy or girl's in a bad mood and you're just like, what are you staring at? Just because all of a sudden you caught their eye contact and you're staring at each other for like, what, 2 seconds? And then you're just like, what are you staring at? And it's only been 2 seconds. Like, why on earth are you asking her that question? Or him, really? And if you do get stuck in one of those staring situations, there's nothing the other you can do apart from just like quickly stare at your work and just keep on working, or just turn around and talk to somebody else, or pretend you dropped something and pick that up. So just create a new situation. Change the situation. Change it. So the situation won't be what it might have been. And awkward staring situations with teachers are kind of less stressful, although they are very stressing, especially in an exam or a test. So basically, when I go to a test, I kind of just get all my things that I need, and I double check that I've got everything, and then we kind of wait for the teacher to come in the classroom, or if she's or he's in the classroom already, then great. So we just go in, we choose to where we want to sit, and we get all of our equipment out, and we put our bags on the floor or outside of the classroom. And the teacher is just like, oh, so good morning, how are you? This is a test, do you know what to do? Did you study? Great, whatever. And then she starts handing out the test or the exams, whatever you will. And it doesn't really matter like if you're finishing the test or you're at the start of the test or you're in the middle of the test. It doesn't matter, because this could happen at any moment, at any time, at any second, at any minute. And I said that wrong. So basically what will happen is you're just doing your work, and do you know how teachers are like allowed to just waltz around the classroom? And they're supposed to do that. It's like part of the rules. Even if it's not an exam, even if it's just like if you're just doing some kind of exercise or some kind of work, and it's not a test, she or he will still just like waltz around the room observing if you are doing this correctly. Do you understand it? Are you confused? What do you not get? What is it do you not understand? And they do these things in the exams as well. They waltz around and just kind of question all that stuff to themselves in their head. And there will be the moment of like this awkward staring thing. So basically all you need to do is take your eyes off your work. And if she's anywhere or he's anywhere near you, the teacher or the professor, whatever, and if they're just like standing near you and they have the typical grumpy face on them, which somehow ends up turning into angry, bloodthirsty dragon face because your imagination starts playing up. Because it just does, and you think like their eyes are bulging out and they're like in a few seconds gonna kill you, when they're not. They're just observing what's going on in the classroom, and that's just how the situation has gone, and all you can do is literally like just keep on going. As long as you're staring at your own work, she couldn't care, or he couldn't care less. So moving on to situation number 2, all these situations are like embarrassing or awkward, just to be clear, and situation number 2 really means like you don't have to be clumsy or klutzy or whatever. This could happen anytime, any day, and you don't have to be at school. Like if it's just tripping down the stairs or tripping somebody up by accident, or like creating like stair dominoes or corridor dominoes, or the middle of situation falling scene. So basically the stair dominoes is basically a few students standing on different steps, and then one person comes at the top of the stairs and just kind of like pushes someone by accident. And do you know how that happens? It usually happens because they're only wearing one strap of their bag, and when there are 2 straps, so it's easier to carry. So And just because of this whole one strap of a bag, a school bag on their back, cool thing, well, guess what? It creates a whole entire scene of dominoes in the staircase. And not only is it awkward, it's typical and annoying. And if you're one of those people who like make typical school scenes seem more dramatic than they should be, I bloody hate you, because it's just annoying. And you start acting as if you've never been in these situations ever because you're way perfect. And you are not, I will tell you that. Because nobody is. And so basically creating a situation more dramatic than it already is just simply like, it kind of explains it all on your face, the way you express your facial expressions, just kind of how you look at people. Like, it depends, like, it depends. It just does. Moving on. If you drop some of your books, like, in the middle of a corridor and there is a huge crowd of people on both sides of the corridor, and then there's like a tiny corridor here or there, and there's like a queue of random people as well, and they're like on their way to get there, and you're here picking up your books, they're just gonna start being rude and impatient, and while you're just trying to figure out whether you're emotionally constipated or just constipated, because it's one of those situations where you don't know whether you're that or that. So, moving on from that, we have got situation number 3, which is, I don't even know how I would, it's the awkward telling off situation, or like the awkward you've broken a rule almost situation. Because, like, do you remember, like, in school, like, if a teacher would tell you about some homework and you've got like a ton of it, so therefore no wonder you've forgotten, and then all of a sudden the teacher's just like, oh, I see you've done all of this homework. Why all of a sudden did you decide not to do this homework? First of all, why on earth are you creating such a dramatic scene over homework that is not done? Because, quite frankly, everybody has been in one of these situations, even if they are as perfect as a parade. Because if you don't do your homework, it's bad, because it's practice for tests and exams. But there are those times where you've got so much homework you can't do it all, and you have other stuff to do at home. But also there are these things like they're due for different days, and we have projects and assignments, so therefore they're due for different days and we have a long time to do them. And if you have a long time to do something, you usually forget about it, and you're just, like, it depends on the kind of person you are. It depends if you're really organized or you just kind of like go with the flow. It really depends. And if it's just turning into an awkward situation, just who cares? Let's say this happens every day. Well, like, this happens in every single class. Somebody hasn't done something. Somebody is not doing something right. Somebody gets told off. Somebody gets put the scene on them. And just deal with it. There's really no hints or tips or tricks for this one, because it's your fault. Unless you have a really good excuse why you didn't do it. Like, the top greatest excuses are like, I had to go to the dentist, or I had to go to the doctor's, or I have no internet, or you had an electricity cut, or you had to go to the hospital, or you had to see your grandparents at the hospital, or you had to go to a family dinner place thingy, or you had to babysit. Those are really good excuses. But I've never used one of them. Because usually when I have like stuff not done, I usually get like another chance to do it, and I do it, and then it kind of gets marked, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah. Moving on to situation number 4, is a situation where somebody puts the scene on you, and they try to act like it's just a little joke, just to deal there. Let's just say there's a person who's fooling around a little, or just trying to have some fun, and they decide to throw a pencil in the air, and it lands on top of your forehead, or in your eye, or in your mouth, or in your hand, or on your desk, and it's chaos. It's just childish. It's immature. You should grow up, and if you want to fool around, you don't throw around pencils anymore. I mean, are you in 7th grade? Because the only real fooling around you can do is just talk to your friends, because why on earth would you want to throw pencils otherwise, other than just to get attention from people? Because there are other things you can do to get attention. You can just stand up on top of your chair and just say anything you want. So, throwing pencils isn't the answer all the time. And it's also very annoying. Moving on to situation number 5, 6, 4, I don't know. Is when you start slowly having like a slow, almost starting to have a sort of small talk kind of argument with a teacher, simply because you've just disagreed for a second, and then all of a sudden the teacher is just like, I am the teacher, you are the student, I am better than you, you need to listen to me, you have no right to speak anymore, I am bloodthirsty, which is why I'm a vampire, and I'm gonna eat you in any second because I'm mad with power. And just because, like, I mean, like, we admire teachers, like, there are role models when it comes to school, and they are there to teach us, and they waste half of their day teaching us things. So, instead of just taking it for granted, you need to appreciate it, because they might have been the reason why you passed that test or got that extra point. So, you shouldn't say otherwise. And there are those teachers that you despise or hate. But the teachers that I particularly can't stand is the teachers that you don't exactly know what their personality is, because let's say you've known them for a good few months, weeks, years, and then you still don't exactly know how to describe them to a new student or somebody new, because they're just so all over the place. They're a hot mess, because one day they are super jolly and energetic, one minute they are angry, the next minute they are grumpy and sad, and then they don't want to hear you, and then the next minute they walk out of the classroom, and then the classroom turns into chaotic messes. And quite frankly, I've never heard of the kind of teacher that is super quiet. I mean, when I was in like, middle school, there would be like these two teachers, because there would be some classes where you'd have only one teacher, and there would be some teachers that would take you out of the class to do the lesson somewhere else. And those teachers that would take you out to somewhere to do the lesson sometimes don't take you out to another place in the school to do the same lesson. they do this because you're struggling with this class or whatever. They're just doing it to help you. And if the main teacher didn't ask the teaching assistant, I guess you could say, to take you out around the school, around into one of the school's classrooms that's empty, so you could just do the lesson there. And those teachers, if they didn't do that, then they would do something else for another teacher, or they would do another class, or they would be asked to like guard. And by guard, I mean like literally observe the classroom from a specific corner or something. The worst thing that can happen is, first they're sitting at a not such a good angle to see everything, and then they move to the worst angle of all, where they can see everything, and that's like at the back. So basically, like if they sit at the back of your back, so they can see the back of your forehead, the teaching assistant. And the grossest thing about school is every day, it doesn't matter where you're looking, it doesn't matter whether you're doing your work, or it doesn't matter if you're talking to your friends, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter where you're looking. Although it kind of does matter where you're looking, because that's why you've seen that item of clothing, which is underwear. Because the only time at school you should see anybody's underwear is your own when you go to the bathroom. And this is a normal situation if you see a guy's underwear, simply because their trousers are not pulled up properly. And like, when the annoying thing about this situation is, let's just say you're just sitting in class, talking to your friends, and you're just kind of like looking around the classroom, because like it's interesting to look around the classroom, because there are new things around it every single day sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a classroom. You have eyes, and they're made for looking, so it shouldn't be against the rules to look wherever you want. Because you can. That's allowed. It's not against the law. It's not breaking the rules if you're looking around the classroom, okay? Unless it's an exam, then yes, because you really should be looking at your work or at your calculator. And if, so let's say you're sitting with your friends and you're just talking about whatever, what you're gonna do on the weekend, let's say. Great, let's go with that. And you're just observing the classroom, and then all of a sudden your eyes stumble upon the person that's sitting in front of you with jungle underpants. First of all, do you shop at like Kitty Boys R Us or something? Cause you need to grow up. And second of all, it's disgusting. Like for instance, like girls are always super worried about what they look like and what they wear, when really you shouldn't. Because I don't think you don't really need to worry what you wear, especially if you're just going to walk your dog or go to the park. Like, a maximum you might see some of your friends from school or some friends from work or something, but and it doesn't matter if you're just wearing a coat, or it doesn't matter if you're wearing like a jumper, or it doesn't matter if you're wearing like tights with a blouse that's upside down or something. Wait, never mind. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, because there are those times where you really need to hurry because you've got like something to do, and you just need to get this whole little walking dog thing over with. So don't care. Like, if your friends say like, what on earth are you wearing, or if they're saying like, Also, a hint is like about that situation if you go to the park to walk your dog, or if you're going anywhere and you stumble upon your friends and they're just like, oh, nice top, nice dress. And if they say it like this, nice top, if it's like super energetic and not usually the way they say it, and if it is the usual way they say it, and if it sounds like the same way they said it last time, or the last time they complimented you and it sounded the same, it just means they say everything the same way. And or they are kind of trying to ask you, why on earth did you put that on, because it looks kind of gross on you. And they have no right, because they just don't. It doesn't matter how many magazines they've read. It doesn't matter whether they go on fashion websites. It doesn't matter. Because they have no right. Because everybody has their own style. And it doesn't matter what's in or what's out. Because clothes are there to put on so nobody will see you naked. They are there to put on. They are there to make you feel comfortable and warm. They're not there to make you look like some kind of superstar who thinks she owns the place. They are not there for that. They are there to keep us warm and to make us feel normal and nice. And sometimes clothes can make you have a special feeling, which is a bonus, but they're not there to make you change the way you are or anything. So stop. And I think that would be the... Wait. Oh, I still haven't finished telling you. I keep on going off topic. So if you're, so basically you're with your friend and you stumble upon somebody's underpants that are in front of you, and you're just kind of like, typical but gross. It's still gross. And then you whisper to your friend, look, you can see their underpants. And your friend probably hears this like every day. If this is your friend's way of telling you they're just annoyed of you telling them this, just tell us you're annoyed, because we're friends. And you're not the only one who's annoyed. And if you tell us that it's such a childish thing to say to your friend, it's not childish, it's just telling them anyway, because it's a warning. And if you think it's a childish warning, then how else could you tell your friend that there is somebody's underpants right in front of their eyes? Would you do that or something? I have no idea. I don't know sign language. Do you? Tell me in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Moving back from subscribing, so basically, if your friend says that it's childish, one day there will be a day when they will stumble upon somebody's underpants in front of them in class and they will scream their heads off. Because, for instance, I have to see those underpants every single day because you people don't know how to pull your pants up. Or you don't know what up or pants are. Because pants are the things that you put on your legs, on your thighs, on your knees, on your leg parts, so you can keep your legs warm. And you pull them up so nobody can see your underpants or what you're wearing underneath them. And if you're wearing nothing underneath them, then FYI, you are giving me too much TMI. Okay? So don't forget to subscribe, and this has been very long.